Good afternoon, guys. Bradford Vaughan, club professional here at Heron Banks. We are looking forward to welcoming you guys here on Sunday morning. For those of you who've never played here before, we are a relatively new golf course, a little more than 5 years old. We have 15 out of the 18 holes with water hazards which come into play. So if things aren't going your way, we have a great selection of new and second-hand balls in the pro shop to reload possibly after night. And then we really look forward to seeing you guys. Make sure to bring your A game with. Can't wait to see you.
Yes, thank you, Bradford, and thank you everybody for your patience. We have had a couple of gremlins from links that I want to work to not being able to hear everybody, but we have an esteemed panel of guests. We've got Donnie next to me, we've got Coach Dylan, we've got Ryan Esmond, and we've got Gideon. And Gideon's with us because he likes Heron Banks and he's played there a few times, so he's going to guide you guys through the golf course and see how we're going to tackle Heron Bank. But first of all, a massive, massive thank you to Heron Bank for accommodating us at such last minute notice. So a big, big round of applause to them. Now these guys are all clapping, but yet I do not hear them, which is also a bit of a worry. Guys, can you hear me and can we hear you?
Yeah.
Can hear you, man.
Yes, okay, that's good.
A little bit of silent tap.
All right, good.
No, nothing to get carried away by.
Confusing me there. Everybody on the chat line, thank you for joining us. Yes, it's a big week and we have a lot to talk about on the show today. Not only is the Heron Bank, but we've got, as we said in the post, we've got a swing analysis from Dylan. We've chosen 3 players that you'll be able to check out. Donnie's going to show us the difference between driver shafts. And then, finally, we're going to have a discussion on embedded ball rule. I'm sure everybody has seen the, what should we say, fallout? Not really fallout from the Patrick Reed incident. And we all have our opinions from our gentlemen. Okay, and then finally what I want to say is how it's going to work today. The best comment today will win a 2-ball voucher sponsored by Heron Banks. So, get chatting, everybody. Okay, where do we even begin to start? Well, everybody, we begin to start with, yes, Donnie, can everybody on the chat line please put a cheers beer sign up because Donnie is expecting a baby in less at 12, 13, 14, 15 hours and he's going to be a father. Congratulations, Donnie.
Come on.
Yes, awesome. What are the feelings like, D?
Yeah, very nervous at the moment. I just can't wait to have that little boy in my arms. So I'm already wishing it's like 10:30 already tomorrow.
Brilliant. I'm sure we'll see plenty pictures. Okay, where do we start? Let's start on reminding everybody about the calendar coming up in February because we have now reached February. Can we believe it? And Heron Banks is on the 7th coming up this Sunday. Then the Durban League's on the 14th. The 21st is the 18th is Modderfontein for the Thursday League Series. The 21st is Ramshoek for Series 2. Then it's a team shootout at Eye of Africa, which we are starting to prepare for next week so that we can bring you an awesome show. Moving on to March, the 14th is Magalies Park. Krugersdorp is on the 18th, Glendower on the 21st, and then the Masters. Finally, the cycle has completed. So let's get straight into Heron's Bank and see what the story is. But let's remind you, first of all, this is what the standings look like. We've got Wayne Jensen, after shooting his 45 points at Killarney, leading the way by 5 points over Leon Oosthuizen, Richard Holman, JP Atwoods, and tied fourth. Tied fourth is also Pranay, and then tied 6th is Fricky Barnard on 37 points. Simon Meyer, 37 points. 36 points for Carl. Graham De Villiers, Yaku. And yes, you are there, Ryan, even though you shot your 66, was it? You are tied 36. Get on that top leaderboard.
That's harsh.
You're probably the next guy. You always feature, so maybe it's time to let some other guys have a chance. Okay, well, Gideon, I'm going to put the score up for Heron Bank. So we know we've got a bit of a delay, but you can start describing Heron Bank for us. Here's a scorecard, lads.
All right, guys. Heron Banks, I found it a really interesting track. And I think what I'm going to do is make a little prediction first, and I'll tell you why I made that prediction. I think it's going to be a mid to higher handicapper guy who finds the fairways. who is going to do really well there. And the reason I say this is because the lower handicap guys usually look at your lower strokes, 1, 2, 3, to make 3-pointers and then birdies on the par 5s. And at Heron Banks, your lowest strokes are quite long par 4s. And with the course playing as wet as it is, they're going to play really, really long. So 4 is not, 4 is a really, really good score on those holes. And then your par 5s are really interesting. At least 2 of the par 5s are not driver holes. So at least 2 of the par 5s go 3-wood, iron, wedge, or whatever, and try and make birdies that way. And with the course playing soft again, the other 2 par 5s probably not reachable for most of us. Maybe Ryan and the real long guys can get there, but most of us can't. So it's an interesting track. I think it's a track you've got to stay out of the water, stay out of the hazards, stay on the fairway, because the rough is punishing. I was there on Monday. It is punishing. It is thick, thick, thick. So stay on the fairway, hit the greens. Interesting greens as well, nice and slopey. So, yeah, I think maybe a 5, 6 under from a mid to high handicap in those.
Awesome. The nice thing is there's 5 par 3s on the course, if you didn't know. And the back 9 has got, as you mentioned, it's got all the water. So it's going to be interesting. How many guys have played there? Don, you played there?
Yeah, so I've played there once, and maybe Gideon can also, comment on this. But from what I can remember from the course as well, there was a couple of blind tee shots on a few holes, like sort of 3 or 4 holes that I can remember. Like I think it's there's a par 4 on the front 9. Kurbis might remember I almost drove the ball into him when we played there. So it's like it's got a little bit of like a hump and a blind tee shot where you can't see, the guys that's over the hump. And I think there's also like a par 4, it's just got like a little bit of a dog leg as well. So yeah, that's what I can remember from the course as well.
Coach?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 par 4s that are going to be drivable for the longer guys as well, just sort of somewhere around 300, just under 300 meters. And those 2 are a little bit blind. And going for those greens is going to be perilous, because there's a lot of trouble around those greens, water on the left on one of them. The other one's got a really big bush on the right, blocking out half the green. So it's a tricky course to go and attack, all-out attack. So I think it's a solid kind of 220, 230 off the box to just hit your regulations.
Okay. Coach, have you played there?
Yeah, I played there quite a bit.
Tell us
I
about
agree.
it.
I mean, if you keep your ball in play, then you're going to score well. Once you've got your ball in the fairway down there, it's a pretty straightforward course. But I'll just add on to what Gid said, and I think you still have to take your opportunities to attack where you can. So it's just about maybe even deciding before you, or on the drive and on the way there, go, okay, cool. I mean, I've got to attack a few holes, so I'm going to try maybe on 5 and 5, 11, 12, and 14. I'm going to attack those holes and hit the driver, and if it comes off, I'm going to make an easy birdie or an easy par 3-pointer for the handicap guy, and then play cautiously the rest of the time. At the end of the day, it's not a 72-hole medal event, so it's not about being too conservative for long periods of time. It's an 18-hole shootout. You've got to attack it sometimes. So just got to pick your moments, pick your holes, maybe pick your wind direction, whatever it is. But attack, I would say 3 or 4 times, and then play cautiously the rest of the time.
Okay, Ryan, I know you haven't played, so we're not going to go there, right?
All right.
Okay, right. Let's get into it then. Let me run through everything that we're used to running through. The featured hole, which you're going to like, gentlemen who have played it, I've made it interesting because I want to see the stats. The featured hole is going to be the par 5 9th. Now, this hole, gents, you'll agree, it's kind of separated in 3. You hit your tee shot, but you also can't go too long. But then, if you don't go long enough, you can't get to the green because there's water again. So there's like 3 sections to it. So it will be interesting to see what happens here. I don't foresee any eagles. Birdies, yes. Pars, bogeys, I'm sure. Plenty. Comment on this hole?
Yeah, I love that hole, Maz. I think it's a great golf hole. I think, for the really, really long guys, you got to carry it like 280 to get it over that first water. 280, 290 carry, so that's long. But for us, mortals, it's a 3-wood and an 8-iron and a wedge to get to that green. You might be able to go for it in 2 with a 3-wood after your first 3-wood, but it's like I said, that green is also surrounded by water and bunkers and just trouble everywhere.
going
So
to-
it's a good three-shotter, and it's a good way to make a birdie there.
Going to be very, very interesting. Okay, let's look at the field. Mr. Jensen just completed the handicap. So if you can see the handicaps there it is. A reminder, it's a 1T start from 8:30, 8:36. So Frikkie Steyn, Johan van der Walt, Gerard Strydom, and Morne Fibers will take us off, right? And then we go on forever. It's almost 3 hours of tee-off times. So it's an hour and a half drive, hour and 15 minutes drive if you're from mid-Joburg, but if you're from Pretoria, I am sorry, but we will come to the Pretoria area eventually. Right, there is everybody. So good luck. These lists will be sent out on the player pack and on our groups. If there are any questions, you just let us know and we will see what we can do. I'm not going to ask guys for... Okay, quick outright winner on this page. Somebody said me. I think Joey said me.
Page.
Oh, you can't really see it. Okay, I'm going to go to page 2. So this goes until 10 minutes past 4. Then page 2 goes from 12 minutes past 10 all the way to 11:40. Gentlemen, we've got 96 players once again, which is a fantastic effort considering that we're going all the way to Heron Bank to the Vaal. So that is great support from everybody. We've got some of the guys like Willie Kukumura and his friends down in the Vaal who are glad that we're in their part of town. But yes, if the last 4 balls 11:40, that means we should be done by, say, 4 o'clock. Remember, the bar is open, so if you want to support them, have a couple of drinks, hang around, but drive safely. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. That's a lot and a lot of golf that's going to be had. So the guys getting there first, like me, it's going to be a long day. But it will be enjoyed. Somewhere here, I saw, I'm sure it was Joey, but I'm going to have to scroll. Joey. Okay, I'm still scrolling. That's how long ago, and that's how many comments we have got going. I'm sure, okay, I can't find it. But Joey said, Maz for the win. Maybe I should just give you the 2-ball voucher at Heron Bank already, Joey. Best comment of the night. I like it.
You're a comedian.
There we go.
All right, here we go with the pins quickly. The pins are going to be as follows. Par 3, third. Not too difficult. It's about 160 odd meters. That is sponsored by Strixon, so you'll get 2 sleeves of Strixon. Then we've got a new sponsor on board for Close to the Pin, and this is EMS, which is Health and Fitness Studios. They are going to be partnering with us as the preferred fitness provider for the Duckhook group. So what happens is you win an assessment and you win your free first lesson or session with them. So thank you very much for EMS coming on board. So we all had our New Year's resolutions. We put them down. A lot of guys wanted to drop handicaps and lose weight. This is one way to do it. And then Heron Banks is proudly sponsoring a 4-ball voucher for the closest in 2 on the 18th. I don't think it's an incredibly difficult hole, so I am assuming there's going to be a couple of close shots. Oh, we lost Donnie, so just bear with us. You'll be back. Gideon, the 18th, what do you think?
Love the 18th. It's another one of
Let's do
those
this.
holes where it's split by the river coming through.
Mhm.
So it's another hole that you can't really take driver. So you can't really just bomb a driver down there and try and stick an iron close. It's going to be either two good long irons or a very interesting 3-wood and a 6 or 7 iron or something. So it's a good hole for a closest in 2, and depending where the flag is, could be tough.
Okay, great. Donnie's back. Yay. Whew. Welcome back, Donnie. Right, groups.
The Gremlins jumped through to me.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening in the world today, I'm telling you.
I don't know what you're doing there, Tony, but you're freaking me out, dude.
Group A, B, and C. These are the 15 players that will be in featured groups. Yes, there's many players, but we don't have all day. Pranay Pandy, Rick Lowe, Chad Rose, Robert Michael, and Morne Kelly, who is watching. Most of these guys are watching. You're in Group A, so good luck to you. See if you can get your credit fine. Whoever tops this group with the most stays for points. Group B, myself, Shannon Schaefer, Richard Holman, Cornell Erasmus, and Paul Ricketts. Paul, I'm going to go head-to-head with you, if you don't mind. Group C, Mark Borrigero, Andre Kotze, Ewald van Wyk, Johan Milo, and Henry Hall. Gents, quickly, shout out a name. Who do you think?
I'm going to have to go for my man Robert Michael there, Group A. I think he's gonna take that one.
I'll go Ewald on Group C.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
After
maybe
Group B, Cornell.
Maybe Paulie or Maz in Group B, I'm going to say.
Sure, putting a lot of faith in us. At least I've gained 2 shots. I've gained 2 shots.
I'm going to keep backing Mark Borgello, and one day I'll be correct.
One day it'll be
One
correct.
thing I would just
Double
like
down
to
there, guys.
Actually, cancel that. No, cancel that selection.
you can't see me again, man.
He's going on tour. He's going on tour Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So he's going to be hungover and over golf. So cancel that.
I need to check with him if he's still in the field because that could be interesting. Okay, head to
I'd
heads.
like to call Gideon on a buffalo as well for about 2 minutes ago.
Ooh, nice.
Oi.
The group, sorry.
Head to head. Here we go. These are the teams. Blue team, we've had 3 rounds. Blue team won all 3. So the red team, I have kind of jippered and packed it with some handicaps to hopefully take the edge and the victory. Kero, you won the last round, so you're going to be captain. You're going to have Kunrad Pretorius, Paul Vickery, Joshua Taylor. Damn, I shouldn't have put Joshua in because he's new and he's playing off scratch, so that one there's an issue. John Paramal, Randall Chetty will hopefully make up for it. Jeff Main will have a good game. Gerard Sneeman, Ryan Esman will have a good game, and Jaco de Kock, I am thinking is going to be right up there. So come on, red team. Blue team, Adam Ford's going to captain. Frikkie Barnard's there. Okkie Brits, Anu Oosthuizen, Johan Potgieter, Hans Jaman, Simon Mayer, Ronnie Volhotter, Wayne Jensen. He has to be there, seeing that he is the reigning Series 1 champion. And then Dorian Fourie. So, can red team pull one back? Because there's only 30 games left, and we need to pull a bit of a even Stevens thing going on there. Okay, so gents, that's pretty much Heron Bank. Everything you need to know is right there. So thank you, and let's have a great Heron Bank experience and enjoy it. Right, as promised, we've got plenty other things to talk about today, and we're going to start with Dylan. Dylan said earlier in the month, or in January, that he would analyze some swings for us. So we went out and I sent him a couple of swings. And this is what he has done for us. So first of all, we have chosen Dean Sherman, and Dylan's gone through Dean Sherman's swing.
Great posture. I'll take the club away here. Everything so far looking very good. Nice sort of wide, low, old school takeaway. Shoulders, club and arms all moving together. Okay, and then this is where I think Dean can do a little bit of work. So it's a pretty good shoulder turn. But what we notice here is that as the shoulder turn stops, the arms stop as well, and he starts that downswing. Now we actually want a little bit of separation to happen. So once the shoulders reach there, we would like the arms to keep going just for a little bit, not too much, but just for a little bit. And that's going to create a little bit of tension and lag. And then as you can see the left side, left leg and left hip starting to pull here. As that happens, with the arms being a little bit behind, you get this sort of slingshot effect. Okay, because Dean stopped those arms a little bit early, he can't really drive the legs any harder, and these arms kind of catch up a bit early. We get this sort of hang back, hold off thing. Okay, we can see because of that, very scared to release the club, so he holds the face open, and this one has been launched a little high and a little right. And that's all because those arms didn't quite finish, and therefore he couldn't fire the lower body aggressively enough, meaning the club got there a little bit early.
I'm going to ask you the question, how many players do you come across with this issue that Dean has? Hey, Bill?
On the question, bro.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
I was saying, how many players have you come across with the same issue that Dean Sherman has?
A few. Sort of definitely more your good players who stop practicing a little bit. He swings it on plane, obviously. But yeah, because of that issue, he can't really fire and release the club properly because his arms are catching up too early. So if he does do that, the ball's just going to go left. So he kind of spends, his whole day fighting, hitting left. But I would say one of the least common issues that arise. But some guys that maybe reroute the club a little bit, or really good players, previous scratch handicappers who have stopped practicing.
Okay, now we've got another swing. This is Carl van der Linden. Now this is a little different to Dean. So this is what Coach D had to say about Carl.
Well, let's have a look at Carl here, also driver swing. So, fantastic, really excellent, strong setup here. Just the stance a little bit closed. We can see that right foot pulled back a little bit. But I think I know why he's trying to do that. He's trying to get the swing a little more inside or a little bit more in line. That's not quite the way to do it. So when he takes the club away here, beautifully low and wide, good strong shoulder turn, great extension. It is a little bit flat and inside, but it's following his toe line. So he's going to get those feet lined up nice and straight because that's not the issue. Then as he finishes his shoulder turn, we'll see, unlike Dean, he keeps the arms going there a little bit longer, so that's great. Okay, so now this is where he needs to do a bit of work. So we can see the height of that club there. So as he drives his legs forward, now he wants that club head to drop lower or flatter, as we'd call it from the other angle. And we'll see that Carl's club head goes a bit up there. So it's already offline, so a closed stance or something like that's not really going to help him. It's already offline over there. He's got to learn to use a little bit of right elbow, a little bit of forearm rotation and get that club a little bit lower in that transition, and then everything will unwind beautifully because he unwinds his body so beautifully, but just a little offline and club face open, and then we can see how hard he has to work the club here to try and get it back online. If he does that work at the top, he will not have to do that, and he can just freely unwind and release the club.
Dill, is there a drill that he can do to try and sort out his the top of his swing?
Yeah, it's quite a tricky move. It kind of separates really the really good golfers from the average sort of amateurs. It's a tough move. It happens naturally later on through your golf career, but he's going to have to learn it systematically, I think. So a very cool drill. You don't want to damage your club or your wall at home, but a really cool one if you stand about a foot or so away from a wall, and you take a backswing, so with your back facing the wall, you take a backswing, make sure you miss the wall on your backswing, and then as you start down, as you shift weight, you get that club head to knock into the wall that's behind you, and basically that'll get the club moving in that direction. Yeah. And as soon as you feel that club hit the wall, basically it's then time to rotate hard around your left leg. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. It's a little bit of a deliberate drill. It's a little bit false position, but it's a good way to learn where you're trying to swing the golf club from.
Just to take a segue here, here's a comment that I saw from Robert Michael a second ago. Duckhook just keeps bringing on innovation. Top content from the top oaks, creating a golfing community. Is that for the Heron Bank voucher? Trying hard there, Robbie. But thank you very much for the compliment. Thank you very much. Okay, then we've got one more swing to look at, and now this is how you want to try and get it right. Before I go to it, Carl, go see Dill. He might be able to help you. Okay, here's the last one.
Alrighty, and here we have Mr. Esmet, and obviously, as we know, Ryan working very hard and playing some great golf at the moment. So let's see those things he does differently, and maybe we can learn a little bit from Ryan's swing. I think one of the things we can really take from Ryan is simplicity. He's decided not to overcomplicate things. He's good at that little sort of trap fade, power fade, and he's going to own it and use it, and that's what he's done so well. Genius in simplicity sometimes, especially in golf, isn't there? So if we look here, we can actually see the shoulders aiming a little down the left side there, okay, for playing for that fade. Then a big, nice wind up there, big takeaway. Bigger shoulder turn than Dino. Ryan's a little bit younger. But here's the difference, right? So shoulder turn finishes there, and then we'll see the arms disconnect without the shoulders. And then as he drives the legs hard there, that's going to create that tension and lag that we're talking about. So the arms are going to lag behind the rotation, storing a lot of energy. Okay. And then if we look in terms of Carl's positions we're talking about, obviously Ryan swinging very much on plane, that club head much lower. So Carl in the same position from this angle would look something like that. Okay, so that's what Carl needs to look at, getting that club head a little bit lower in the transition, and then obviously it just keeps getting lower and lower through the downswing. So a lot of good stuff here from Ryan. This based very much on hard rotation. Okay, rotating very hard, arms a little behind, hold the club face a little bit open, and you can just freewheel as much as possible to a big high finish.
Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, quite interesting, the comments. Literally, I've done a hell of a lot of work this week with my coach at BSI on actually staying a bit tighter with my elbows and not flying so high and disconnected on the takeaway. But yeah, it's spot on exactly what my coach has said. Just obviously brings out a bit of inconsistency in the finish of the shot. If you don't get that club face square, you bring in some serious misses.
Okay. Dil, anything to say to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was trying to say in the beginning of the video. You could improve it and try and get it a little bit more in front of you, whatever, from the textbook. But then you're looking at different shots and different timing and different releases and different alignment. Like I say, Ryan's scores speak for themselves. So, he just swings the club a little behind him and rotates as hard as possible and just leaves the club head a little bit open. Not too dissimilar to Dustin Johnson, in all honesty. And if that's the comparison that you're making, then, you're looking at some good stuff. So, DJ being the best. Yeah, well, it's just, he just does it even more dynamically than you do, right? It's just so he just has a bowed left wrist for a closed club face because he rotates even harder than you with the club face even further behind, and a strong grip just compensates for that. So, but if you're a sort of mini version of DJ, you're not going to be doing a hell of a lot wrong, are you?
Yeah.
So if your scores speak for themselves, I wouldn't really fiddle too much. Keep playing with what you're good at.
I've got a challenge for you, Dylan. Paul Rickett says to test Dylan De Beer on his swing analysis, he needs a video of me. That is true, because I'm not so sure it's going to be an easy fix. We've all played with Paulie and his fade. Some days it's a fade, some days it's a slice, and some days he's just up there finishing second. So well done, Paul. Hopefully we...
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. There we go. Gentlemen, if you want a swing analysis from Dylan, take a video from the back, Dil?
Yeah, like you saw with Carl, they're trying to explain, trying to get that swing plane a bit flatter from that side-on angle is a little bit more difficult, but back is better. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're trying to work on.
Yep.
If possible, back is better, but I guess one of each is even first prize.
Okay. Yes. So send me a video if you're playing and you want a video analysis. Send it. It might not be on the next show, but it might be somewhere within February. Okay, so that's swing analysis. Thank you very much. We've got Jacques Ravenstein saying, Dylan can fix anything.
No, there's a nice comment there. I like it.
Which one?
Kelly.
Your Coke looks more. What's this one? Donnie, your Coke looks...
See through the normal.
Yes, your Coke looks see through the normal. There we go.
Yeah, no, it was quite fun.
Okay, then, today, let's move on. Today, Donnie and myself thought to each other, let's put something together for the Ducks to explain the difference in driver shafts. Because if you're new to golf and you're not aware of this, we put the test Donnie put the test in, and this is how the numbers show what shafts he hits. Have a look.
Golf education for all the guys out there. What we're going to do today is we're going to test a few flexes in shafts. So we've got 5 different flexes that is in there for the golf market. You get obviously your X flex, stiff flex, regular flex, seniors and ladies. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to test the hazardous smoke shaft out here in an X flex, which is a 6.5, the stiff flex, which is a 6.0, and then the regular flex shaft in a 5.5. And we'll show you the difference of what a flex can do in the golf swing. Alright, so for today's testing I'm going to use the Strixon ZX7 driver. If I look at this shaft, which is a hazardous smoke 6.5, it's a fraction tighter, fraction heavier watt than what I'm using currently. So the reason why I got a fade on that shot with this 6.5 X-Flex shaft is that basically at the point of impact, the shaft was too tight and kept the face open. So I couldn't release the driver head at impact. So let's hit the stiff shaft and see the results of that. Shaft number 2 is the hazardous smoke stiff flex shaft, the 6.0. Basically start the ball more straighter to the target, and hopefully I get that small little drawback. Club and speed very much the same, spin numbers a little bit lower than before, but it's like club path very much similar, but now we can see the draw is a fraction back, and we can see also the face to path is a negative angle, which means the shaft is squaring a little bit more up compared to the X-Flex. So at the same thing, we can see the club path, pretty natural, pretty good, so very similar to the other shafts, but yes, with the regular flex shaft, we can see the face to path is more closed, obviously because the shaft's kicking a little bit more at the bottom, and we can see obviously the face angle is completely shut. To look at the grouping from carry distance wise, we can see the regular flex shaft, the 5.5, came out left of target, starting left, and also closing the face at impact. So if we go to the stiff shaft, we can see I actually got a nice little draw going. The grouping is very good, so yet again from my in to out swing path, the face was a fraction closed at impact. And then we can see the 60X shaft right at the top there, staying open. So yet again, at impact, the X-Flex shaft made my face open. I'm going to work on a mid-tempo swing, and we can see 80 to 90 miles per hour should be roughly in a regular flex. We can see 90 to 100 should be in a stiff flex shaft, and then basically, you can go say close to 110 miles per hour and upwards, you need to be in an X-Flex shaft. If you have seen this video, you like it, and you think there's something wrong with the current flex shaft of your driver, come and see me here at Golf Concepts, and I'll gladly help you get a better shaft in there that suits your game.
Well explained. I really got it after I put that together, and I know what's happening. Gents, agree? Very important.
100%. Being fitted is a very important part of this game.
Yeah, it was amazing. He literally hit 6 shots, and one went boom, one went boom, one went boom with the different shots. So it just shows you, because Donnie is consistent as he hits it. We've got a couple of comments here. I wanna put this. Basil's described my golf perfectly here. A pull draw. No, Baz. It's a hook fade that I hit. I hit a hook fade. Right, Paul Ricketts. He says, a big prize must go to Donnie. Baby on Thursday, wife out of hospital on Saturday. Golf Sunday, top man or brave? That's a very good question. I think he's braving it. I'm looking to have standby people just in case. Yes, okay. All right, moving on to the final thing. Right, we said we're going to discuss this, and I'm going to lead into it like this.
Yeah, I think I have an embedded ball. Can you come check this out? Yeah, no, it's right here. Yep. Yeah, if you look at it, you can kind of see, let me pick it up here. You can see where the ball is kind of made a little pitch mark there. It's kind of nestled down in there. And when you pick it up, yeah, there's like, it's very clearly a rim around there. It's definitely broke ground, so yeah, it's pretty far down in. I mean, I don't even know if I can get it out. It's so deep. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely embedded. It's in its own pitch mark, right? Oh yeah, can't even see it barely. It's way down there.
We all know what that is about, everybody, right? So that is the discussion. We've got 5 minutes to wrap it up. I want everybody's point of view, the guys on the chat line, your point of view as well. And while I'm talking, if you want to know anything about Heron Banks, like speeder greens or any questions, just drop it there. We'll see if we can get to it. Getting to the speeder greens, I have no idea. Last time I played, they were kind of medium. Gideon, speed?
They were playing very slow on Monday due to the wet, and they've also just come out of volatining, but they're recovering well. They just need a little shave. They're rolling well, just a little bit slow.
Okay, so hit them. All right. So if you don't know what happened with Patrick Reed, when I watched this back, what I found interesting is how he picked the ball up very quickly, moved it, but there wasn't anybody around, right? Not another playing partner, no official. I thought, like when I play and I see my balls embedded, I say, Donnie, are you okay with the relief on this? So that didn't happen. So let's start with Ryan. You go first. I'm going to put the rules up for you, and then you can explain from your point of view.
Well, no one wants to directly call someone cheap, but at the end of the day, what he did was wrong. The procedure he did was wrong. He got the official ruling from a rules official, so you can't argue that he hasn't followed the rules. But the way he sort of marked his ball and moved it before his playing partner or a rules official was there is completely a no-go. For any amateur golfer, any golfer that's playing in competitions such as Duckhook, if you're going to get relief, if you're looking for a ruling, make sure someone's there to see how you're doing it, what you're asking for, and obviously to confirm that you're doing it correctly. The procedure after you got the ruling is 100% correct how it was done, getting club length relief for an embedded ball. But yeah, just the way they approached it wasn't, or he approached it wasn't good.
Dill, what's your opinion?
I think Ryan's correct there. I mean, especially embedded ball, you have to make sure that's broken ground. So you've got to confirm with your marker that's the case. You can't just claim it wherever you feel like it. Look, I think in this situation, Patrick Reed was probably correct. It probably had broken ground and it probably was a free drop. But because it's Patrick Reed and because of his history, he really should have just taken his time and got confirmation from somebody, not just haphazardly gone through the process. I mean, I've seen tour players call a rules official over for a drop from a sprinkler head, just so that they're sure that they don't make a mistake and incur a penalty later that costs them, $200,000 to $400,000, And with Patrick Reed's history, he should have done the same thing. But I think part of the issue is he knows that everyone hates him. So his playing partners don't give a damn. They're not going to walk over 50 meters and have a look because they just don't want to be anywhere near him.
Well, he also needs to ask them to come. That's the big issue.
Yeah.
Donnie, I know you had something to say.
The other thing of like that I'm thinking now is that obviously there was cameras on and stuff, but who says he had the right spot that he showed to the official? It's like because he marked it, he took the ball out, and he moved away and he dropped it close to the cart path. It's like he could have literally gone and gave a wrong place to the official. So it could have been a wrong call from the official, in the beginning as well. So for me, I just think the rules of golf, for me is there to protect everyone and have the same rules for everyone. And for me, I feel the fact that he didn't wait for a rules official, and he just picked up the ball, that's wrong. It's the rules are there for everybody. It means that every one of us can pick up a ball, and go to your playing partner and say, hey, it's here, and then meantime it got marked wrong or you show him a wrong spot or anything. It's not right.
Good.
Yeah, Donnie, I mean, I think there actually isn't anything in the rules saying that you're not allowed to mark and move your ball if you suspect that it was embedded. You actually have to check the ground underneath. I'm not saying what Patrick Reed did was right. I think in normal play and for us and for any other professional, I think definitely call a rules official or call your playing partner before you move your ball. Just say to him, listen, I just want to check if this is embedded. You mark it, you pick it up. Okay, the ground's broken. It's a free drop. Or the ground isn't broken. I'm just going to put it back where it was, and then we'll keep going from there. But I think the way he did it wasn't very clever. And look, I mean, he's got a history of opening himself up to this kind of ridicule. And if he doesn't stop doing it, it's just going to keep happening. And guys are going to keep zooming in on him even more.
Yeah, that's the problem now. He's always going to be watched like a hawk for the rest of his career. And like you guys said, he's just dug a hole for himself. And that's just the way it is. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I think we can pretty much wrap it up. I'm busy going through the comments at furious pace, and I cannot decide who is going to win the 2-ball voucher. There's just too many. Any comments from you guys? You saw anything? Give me some suggestions.
I like the latest one here from Karot Maritz. I think he's Trump's son.
Okay, we're going to go with I think this strong.
Mas, can I just add something while you guys are finalizing?
Yes, go for it.
I think for Sunday, guys, obviously embedded rule, but also brush up on your casual water rules, please, because that's going to come into play a lot.
Tell us.
You can get stance relief. It doesn't always have to be ball relief. You can get stance relief anywhere, even in the bunkers, rough, fairway, whatever. You're going to get free relief if your ball or as you take your stance, any water seeps through the ground. That's going to be casual water. You're going to get free relief from that. Little things to know. Sometimes if the nearest point of relief is from the rough into the fairway, that's allowed. Sometimes if the bunker is completely out of play, you're going to end up being able to drop out of the bunker. So just brush up on the rules of casual water, and you might save yourself a couple of shots while you're out there. But before you take relief, check with your playing partners.
Yeah, with his fat ass, the ground will be broken. I love it. Yes.
Also, before we wrap this up, I just got a question for Coach Dill quick. Dill, I don't know if you've seen on Golf Weekly all the talk about that the RNA and the USGA wants to basically have a rollback program where they want to bring the technology of golf balls and drivers back to like a couple of years back. So what's your view on that?
No, it's too late. It's too late. We've learned the game. I mean, I reckon I guess you could maybe try and get a few regulations around the golf ball for the next upcoming years, but it's too late. They needed to catch that much earlier. We got kids learning the game a certain way. I've got 13, 14-year-olds that are talking about ball speed and launch angles and spin rates. And they've just learned that stuff. It's too late to take that kind of thing away. And most importantly, it's a different game. Yeah, it's not the game that Gary Player played or Arnold Palmer played or whatever. But honestly, my opinion is it's a better game. And I know a lot of people will disagree with that. My personal feel is it's a better game. I think golfers should be athletes, and I think athletic feats should be rewarded. And in the past, there were some guys that were pretty good at controlling a golf ball and pretty good putters that made careers out of golf that were not athletes. And at the end of the day, it's a professional sport, and I think athleticism should be rewarded.
Thank you. All right. We could probably go on forever discussing things, but we can't. We can't. Okay, I've narrowed it down to two because I think they're very funny. Right. So this is the one. I like this one. So Big D will be getting loads of casual water relief. Referring to standing on the side with the water. Yes. Okay. Very funny, Big D. But I think for being a bit sharp, I think the award for the Tubal voucher is going to go to Rudolf Broderick. Right. Who saw the first eland must get it on Sunday. Do we know the internal joke? Basically, I posted a video on our group a while back and I said, look, there's an eland, which it wasn't even close, right, to that actual buck. And then I continued to get harassed for a very, very long time because I don't know the difference between buck 1 and buck 2 or 3 or 4. So that's it. So I'm going with Rudolph. You're going to get the Tubal voucher. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. But somebody's got to win it. So we're going to go with the guy with the most wit there for today. Sorry, everybody else, but they might have another chance. So we'll see. Okay, thanks. That's it. We're done. Everybody, thank you for watching. At least we got it out without any further glitches. So until Sunday, keep looking for the info and make sure that you got your tee off done right. We'll see you then. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys.